Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Penny. I am a master esthetician in Portland, Oregon. Today we are going to talk about fine lines and wrinkles, and I want to give you some practical tips and advice on how to improve the appearance of your skin if you are experiencing some lines, some wrinkling, maybe some dehydration. If you are new here, I hope that you will consider subscribing. I also hope that you will follow me over on Instagram. I am doing daily skincare content over there, as well as a masking challenge where I get to see your face on my Instagram, which is really cool for me. And I'm also putting together a skincare giveaway for a few of you over there, essentially a care package of skincare goodies from me to you. Now let's get into chatting about wrinkles. What's really important to know is that fine lines and wrinkles are defined in two different ways. One of them is static. Those are the kinds of fine lines and wrinkles that don't go away when you just because you move your face. They are always there. They don't have to always be there, but they are always there. As opposed to the second type, which is dynamic. Now, dynamic wrinkles exist because we move our face. They exist because we express ourselves. So examples of dynamic wrinkles would be our 11s or our crow's feet. Smokers' lines are dynamic wrinkles. And the reason why it's important to understand the difference between the two is you definitely need a different approach to treat dynamic fine lines and wrinkles versus static fine lines and wrinkles. For today's video, I really want to talk about static lines and wrinkles. So as we get older, there is a degradation of our barrier. So our barrier function doesn't work as well. It allows more water to escape. And the term for that, and you've heard it here before, is transepidermal water loss. All that means is that as we get older, our barrier is functioning less well and it allows more water to escape. Well, at the same time, we're producing less collagen, we're producing less elastin, and we are producing less glycosaminoglycans, which are responsible for keeping water in our deep tissue. So you can see that this is kind of the recipe for dehydrated skin. The good news about fine lines and wrinkles that are due to dehydration is that they're very, very fixable. So here's the things that you need to look for when you're trying to rehydrate your skin. First of all, we want to be promoting those glycosaminoglycans. We want to help our body to kick it into gear and promote the production of those glycosaminoglycans, or GAGs. Sometimes you will see them written like that, GAGs. Well, what can do that but copper peptides? And I just recently did a video on copper peptides and just the many, many things that they can do for our skin. And one of them is helping to promote the production of glycosaminoglycans, which again are the things in our deeper tissue that are going to help our skin remain plump and hydrated. So copper peptides is number one. Number two that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look for hydrators or humectant ingredients in your products. And that is in your essences, that's in your serums, and that is also in your moisturizers. So what are we looking for? I'll give you some examples. You want to look for, obviously, hyaluronic acid. We all know about hyaluronic acid. It is a hydrator. It's a humectant. It's able to hold several times, multiple times its weight in water. And that's what we want. We want the tissue to be able to hold on to water. So we put hyaluronic acid and it attracts water and it kind of plumps up the tissue, right? Okay, so we also want to look for ingredients like urea. Urea is actually like hyaluronic acid in that it's a humectant, only it's a smaller molecule and it's able to get into our intercellular cement. So if you looked at our skin cells, they're kind of like brick laid, right? Well, urea is able to kind of penetrate into the in-between of all of those bricks and hydrate that area. And because it's a smaller molecule, it's able to get in and it hydrates better and it hydrates longer. So urea is another ingredient that I really recommend that you look for in products to hydrate your skin. Sodium PCA is another fantastic ingredient for hydrating your skin, as is beta-glucan. So these are just some examples of hydrators that are really great at helping to promote hydration in your skin. Okay, now that we've talked about fine lines and wrinkles due to dehydration, I want to give you some practical tips, some skincare tips on how you can address static wrinkles when it's due to collagen and elastin loss and when it's due to gravity. So there's 4 things that you can do. Number 1, you can exfoliate your skin twice a week. The reason why this is important is that by exfoliating our skin, not only are we going to induce a glow, textural changes will happen that will improve the appearance of your skin, but also when we exfoliate, we give all of those wonderful hydrating ingredients the opportunity to actually get into our tissue and do their job. So we remove some of the stuff that's kind of in the way, and we give all of those good things an opportunity to get in. The other thing about glycolic acid in particular as an exfoliant is that when you use it, it actually causes a reaction in our deeper layers to produce more collagen. So we remove the surface and our body produces more to come forward. So exfoliating twice a week is super important in the process of addressing fine lines and wrinkles. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to follow the ABCs. And what this is you want to get your vitamin A in, and that is in the form of retinoids. So we're going to think of retin A or tretinoin. You're going to think of retinaldehyde, retinol, or granactive retinoid. Now, all of those are vitamin A derivatives. And what that's going to do is it's going to stimulate collagen. It is going to help with texture, and it's just a proven vitamin for anti-aging. So vitamin A is the first of your ABCs. Now, your B is your vitamin B3, and that is niacinamide. Now, niacinamide is so important in this entire game plan here because it is super important to your barrier function. Now, remember, we talked about how as we get older, that our barrier function is more and more degraded. And if we can do anything to shore it up, we are helping the hydration of our tissue because we're helping that barrier to function properly and hold water in. So niacinamide is definitely one of the vitamins that is imperative in our quest to keep our skin hydrated and in our quest to fend off fine lines and wrinkles. Not to mention that vitamin B3 is really good for your pores and it is really good for brightening your skin. So it is one of those vitamins that is just important in a good skincare routine. Now, the C, of course, is vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is interesting because not only is it an obvious antioxidant, it is a profound antioxidant, but it can impart a glow. It can slightly exfoliate your skin, and what's super important about vitamin C is that it actually works hand in hand with copper peptides in the synthesis of collagen. Now, it's important to note that you don't use vitamin C at the same time that you use copper peptides, but they still work in conjunction with each other, even though you're keeping them separate in your routine. Okay, the last thing that we're going to do at home to help to address fine lines and wrinkles is going to be to use at-home devices that can help stimulate collagen and elastin. My 2 favorite for this purpose are going to be microneedling and LED. Now, some of you are not going to want to microneedle, and that is completely understandable, and I definitely think that if you are not completely, confident in your safety and sanitation, then you shouldn't microneedle. If you do microneedle, it's important to know that it's called collagen induction therapy for a reason. We're actually triggering this wound healing process and triggering collagen synthesis when we microneedle. Now, the other modality that I think is really fantastic and integral to this entire game plan is LED. Now, the cool thing about LED is it's completely non-invasive. It's very, very, pleasant to do, and it can be done daily if you want to without any kind of side effects, without any downtime, and LED helps to promote something called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Now, the reason why adenosine triphosphate is so important in this whole game plan that we're doing right now is that it is used by our fibroblasts, also known as collagen factories. ATP is used by our fibroblasts to produce more collagen. So LED is integral in the collagen production process also. Now, the last thing that is super important for LED is that it helps to kind of improve the quality of our elastin fibers. Now, our elastin, as we get older, can kind of get this film on it, kind of a gluey substance that can harden the elastin. And elastin is what's responsible for the bounce in our skin. And we really, as our elastin fibers degrade, they get stiffer, we don't have as much bounce, we don't have as much plump and give. And what LED can do is it can help eliminate that film off of our elastin fibers so that they're supple, they have more bounce, and they're able to perform in kind of an elastic way. So to me, LED is one of those, it's slow, it's subtle. You may never even see what you think are the results of LED, but to me, it's an insurance policy that's just working slow and steady and in a really non-invasive way to improve our skin on a cellular level. So I love LED. So at-home devices to me are a fantastic way in this kind of multi-pronged approach to, address fine lines and wrinkles. Microcurrent is definitely one of those that can help with sagging skin. It can help with the dynamic wrinkles. It can help soften our 11s and our crow's feet and the wrinkles around our mouth and that kind of thing. And it's definitely something that on this channel we're going to dive into more in the coming weeks. I'm very excited to be sharing with you a bunch more about the MyoLift. But for today's video, I thought most important would be to address those static wrinkles, those wrinkles and fine lines that are just always there. And I'm telling you, if you take nothing from this video, hydrate your skin. You will notice the biggest change in your skin if you just devote some extra time in the morning and at night to hydrate your skin. Consistently hydrate your skin and hold that hydration in with good occlusive moisturizers. You will thank me. Now, the last thing that I would be remiss if I didn't mention it is that you should always wear sunscreen. And it's super important that you wear sunscreen every single day, even if you're not going to be out gardening, even if you're not going to go out running, any of those things, wear your sunscreen every day. Make it a habit. Make it part of your skincare in the morning. Make it part of your makeup routine. It's a non-negotiable. And we know that a majority of the extrinsic aging, of the aging that happens to us from outside, comes from UVA damage. That is the ultraviolet A rays from the sun. So it's super, super important while we're doing all these other things that we always protect our skin from those UVA rays. And it does not matter if you are 30 or if you are 78, you should be wearing sunscreen. It's super, super important. Obviously, it's also important in defending ourselves against skin cancer, but it is imperative if we want to fend off fine lines and wrinkles. Okay, so how do you use all of this stuff? I know that that's a question. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a sample skincare routine that involves the hydration, involves the exfoliation, it involves copper peptides and your vitamins A, B, and C, and how you incorporate your at-home devices. I'm going to put that in the description box so that you can see how you would even do all of this. So definitely check the description box if you have questions about where you would incorporate all of these things. There's a good chance that you own most of this stuff already in your cupboard in your bathroom. So it's just a matter of fitting it all in and actually applying these principles. Last thing I want to say is that fine lines and wrinkles are going to happen. They're going to happen to all of us. And I don't think that they're a bad thing, but I do think taking care of our skin and feeling like the best versions of ourselves is absolutely okay. And it's okay if you want to improve the appearance of your skin. If you want your skin to look its best, that's totally okay. But it's also totally okay to have fine lines, have wrinkles, have all of those things, because honestly, that's not where our true beauty shines. It's from the inside anyway. But it sure is fun taking care of our skin. And I hope that you guys are having a wonderful week inside. I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.